I used to think death came quiet, like a gentle wind that carries you home. But the night I died, it wasn't quiet at all. The machines beside me screamed before they went still. The room filled with voices, nurses shouting, a doctor's hand pressing hard on my chest, someone praying under their breath, and then, nothing. Silence. Cold. And then, a strange kind of peace. I remember thinking, so, this is it. This is how it ends. But when I opened my eyes again, I wasn't in the bed anymore. I was standing, watching my own body lying still beneath that white sheet. My hands looked so small, so fragile, my skin pale under the harsh hospital lights. I should have been afraid, but I wasn't. I felt weightless, free. And just then, I saw her, a nurse, young and trembling, whispering my name, even though she thought I couldn't hear. Come back, Miss Lillian. Please come back. That's when I realized I wasn't supposed to be gone yet. Before I tell you what happened next, if you're hearing my story right now, please take a second to subscribe and stay with me till the end. What I saw, what I felt in that moment between worlds, it might just change what you believe about life, death, and the space between. I remember floating, not falling, not rising, just being. The room below me glowed pale blue from the machines. My body lay still, motionless. But I was everywhere at once. I could hear the doctor saying, time of death, 2:49 a.m. His voice sounded so final, like he'd shut a door that could never open again. But I wasn't gone. Not really. I was right there, standing beside him, looking into his eyes as he covered my face with the sheet. And that's when something strange happened. I felt warmth, not around me, but within me. It started small, like the soft hum of a Sunday hymn. Then it grew, spreading through every piece of light that held me together. I looked toward the corner of the room, and I swear I saw movement. It wasn't a nurse, it wasn't a shadow, it was light. Soft, golden, and alive. The air felt thicker, warmer. It smelled like rain and lilies. Like the mornings I used to sit on my porch with my Bible, whispering prayers into the dawn. I wanted to speak, but I had no voice. Still, the light seemed to hear me. I didn't ask questions. I didn't have to. I just knew. It wasn't my time. I saw flashes my grandson Elijah's face when he was 5. Running barefoot in the yard. My daughter singing in church. The same hymn I used to lead before my voice grew weak. And then I saw something I couldn't explain. A hand. Reaching out from that light. Not flesh, not bone, but energy. Love. Something purer than breath itself. I reached back. And when I did, I heard a whisper, not from outside me, but from somewhere deep inside my soul. You still have words left to speak. That's when I felt a pull, gentle but sure. The room began to blur. The walls faded into mist. The hum of the machines turned into music, soft, distant, like a choir echoing from the heavens. And then suddenly, pain, sharp, burning, real pain. I gasped. My chest lifted off the table. The sheet slid from my face. The nurse screamed. The doctor dropped his clipboard. And me, I just opened my eyes, tears spilling down my cheeks. Because I wasn't supposed to be there, but somehow, I was. If you're still with me, keep listening. What came next wasn't just a second chance. It was a message one I was meant to bring back from the other side. When I opened my eyes, the world didn't look the same. It was like I could see everything, the nurse's trembling hands, the doctor's tears hiding behind his mask, even the faint dust floating in the shaft of light above me. I wasn't just looking at life anymore. I was inside it. They kept saying, Miss Lillian, can you hear us? I could, but I couldn't answer. My mouth was dry, my body stiff, my soul still halfway between here and there. And yet, in that quiet space between heartbeats, I heard another voice, soft, clear, and not of this world. Tell them love doesn't stop at the grave. The voice was gentle, almost like it came from inside my chest. It wasn't thunder. It wasn't loud, but it was certain. I tried to understand what it meant, but before I could speak, I felt tears rolling down my temples, not from fear, but from peace, because I realized something. That warmth I'd felt before, that wasn't heaven calling me home. That was God sending me back. For a moment, I could see it, the in-between. It wasn't clouds or gates. It wasn't angels with wings. It was a place where memories live, where all the love you ever gave, and every prayer you ever whispered, waits for you like old friends. I saw faces. My mama's smile. My husband's laugh. They weren't speaking, but I could feel what they wanted to say. Not yet, baby. You've still got work to do. Then it hit me. Maybe dying wasn't the end of my story. It was just the pause before the message. The next morning, when I finally found my voice, the nurse leaned close. "Miss Lillian," she whispered, her eyes red, "you were gone. We called it. You weren't breathing for 3 minutes. What happened?" I looked at her, my throat raw, my lips trembling, and all I could say was, "I saw home, but I had to come back." She didn't say anything. She just cried. I reached for her hand and said, "Child, don't let the world tell you what's possible. When love still has something left to give, even death has to wait." The room fell quiet again. The beeping of the machines was steady, but softer somehow, like they were keeping rhythm with a promise only I could hear. I knew right then, my story wasn't mine anymore. It was for the lonely ones, the forgotten ones, the people who sit in their rooms wondering if the world's done with them. Because I'm living proof, God isn't done until He says He's done. Before I tell you what happened when I finally walked out of that hospital, please don't forget to subscribe and share this story. Somebody out there needs to hear this tonight. Maybe it's you. When they finally let me go home, the sun was setting behind the hospital. I remember sitting in that wheelchair by the front doors. The nurse pushing me slow, the wheels squeaking on the tile. The air outside felt like a blessing. Cool, real, alive. It smelled like rain and earth. The kind of smell that makes you believe in second chances. My daughter, Ruthie, stood by the car, tears in her eyes. "Mama," she said, her voice breaking. "They said you were gone." I smiled, weak but sure. "I was," I told her, "but God sent me back. Said I still had something to do." She didn't understand, not right away, but she helped me into the car, held my hand the whole drive home. And when we got there, she tucked me into my favorite chair by the window. The one where I used to read my Bible before the sickness came. The house was quiet. Too quiet. That's when it hit me. The stillness wasn't empty. It was sacred. I could feel something in the air. Like the echo of that golden light from the hospital room, I whispered, "I'm still here. Thank you." 4 days after, people came to see me. Neighbors, church folks, even the nurse who'd been there that night. They wanted to know what I'd seen, what I'd heard, what it felt like. And I told them the truth. That dying wasn't dark. It wasn't lonely. It was love, pure and quiet and endless. And that sometimes, love sends you back. One Sunday, the pastor asked me to speak at church. My knees were weak, but my spirit was steady. I stood before the congregation, faces I'd known all my life, and I said, "You don't have to die to be brought back. Sometimes you just need to remember why you're still here." People wept. Some shouted hallelujah. Others just closed their eyes and nodded like they'd been waiting for someone to say those words out loud. That night, I sat by my window again, the same spot I'd prayed in before the sickness came. The moonlight spilled across my hands, and I thought about the nurse's trembling voice, the doctor's disbelief, the warmth that pulled me back. Maybe it wasn't just for me. Maybe it was for everyone who's ever wondered if God still hears them in the dark. Because now I know He does. He hears the prayers whispered through tears, the ones said in silence, the ones spoken by a heart too tired to go on. He heard mine even from the other side. And if He could bring me back, He can bring anyone back. Not just from death, but from despair, from grief, from giving up. If you've watched thus far, thank you. You were meant to hear this story tonight. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs a reminder that God's not done writing your story either.